Good evening and welcome to a very short, or hopefully very short, webinar to introduce you to Napkin AI, which is a tool I came across probably about a month ago now, and something I definitely have had a lot of questions about when people have seen the content I've been producing with it, particularly in articles, in YouTube videos, and across proposals as well, where people have wanted to understand better the kind of the kind of data or the kind of ideas that sometimes can be hard to bring across just in words alone. We may want to represent those ideas visually as well. So I'm going to share my screen and get us underway because I think we could do death by PowerPoint, but honestly, this is far better done as something which is done live. So, yep, we know what we're looking at. We're looking at illustrating our ideas. Here is Napkin AI. Now, what Napkin AI is all about really is, like it says on the box, get visuals from your text. So I've already got an account here, but first of all, I'll show you the pricing. It's free. Free to start with. You get up to 3 napkins, so 3 ideas at a time. You can only sort of use it on a day mode, so you can't do the dark mode in it. So if you're someone who likes their backgrounds darker rather than lighter, that may be a limitation for you. But at the moment, because they're still in their beta testing period, they're still gathering data and seeing how people use it. You can use it on the professional plan for free, and they've got no idea what the pricing is going to be. So right now, it's free. There's an enterprise plan as well. I'm at the point where when it does go to paid, I'm probably going to like pay for this one because it's something I do use a lot in lots of different articles. Like I said, YouTube videos, proposals, all kinds of stuff. So I'm just going to sign in because I've already got it. Let's sign in and let's see what it looks like. Now, this is probably the best part to do it really because it is a system which is very graphical by its nature. So I've got the access to the dark mode, but a lot of people find that hard to follow. So I'm just going to turn it over to the normal inverted mode. Let's generate colors in dark mode. I just want to turn off the dark mode. I know you can. I just haven't. Look, I'll just leave it on what it is right now. It's after 5:30 p.m. here in the territory, so that's why it is. Now, what you'll see here is an example of the last napkin, as they're called, that I did. So about here's how creators can use DeepSeek AI effectively, and it's created based from those lines of text, that little outcome. But what I can do as well, and I'm going to use this one as an example of what I've done, and I'm going to go and put a title in there as well, DeepSeek use cases. So that's going to be my title of my graphic, and it's not going to dynamically change what's already there. What I need to do is get rid of that. I'm going to start again. So I'm going to highlight this, get rid of it. Come on, we can do it. There we go, got rid of that. And I highlight the areas that I do want to use. So if I go down here, highlight the whole thing, it's got here this little AI zapper. It's a generate visuals button. So I'm going to generate visuals based upon that. So it does a little buzzy thing with lots of little dots, and it's going to give its very first idea at what it wants. But you don't have to select just that. You can go down through various different kinds of these visuals. The mind map type, the stairways to knowledge. Just going to push this up a bit so you can see more of that. You can have arrows. We can have a little nuclear fission. You can have a pencil that's broken up. Lots and lots of these different ones. I like the brain one. That one comes up quite a lot. And also this one too. I do like that as well. But the beauty of this is that's not all. You can generate more of them. So some of them are more illustrative than others. Some of them are very data oriented. So this one's just almost like a Venn diagram. This one definitely is a Venn diagram. Or you can have something a bit more obvious, like a more of a mind map kind of area. Or again, something which is, I don't know what that is, but I like the look of it. It looks very different. And as we go down those different styles, you see there's more and more. And they've actually added in some more just in the last week as they're getting closer and closer to their launch. Really simple ones like that, but then you get something more sophisticated like this. Now, the beauty of this is that I don't like that style. So I'm going to select it, but I'm going to click on styles, and I've got another lots of variations of what that could look like on a dark background. I can take it. There's some hidden styles in there. Well, I use a lot of purple. So for me, purple would be the case I would use. So that's now produced that. Now what you'll notice is that there, my title has come across into here. Now, if I don't really like that, I don't have to regenerate that. I can just go in here and change it within here and just go maybe deep seek AI, best use cases. So what I can do is do that within my canvas here without having to then go and change everything. So I might also want to sort of stretch this out a bit. I can draw lines. I can add more things to it if I want to. I can change any of the data in any of these sections. I may want to change that or change the color of it. Let's just say I want to change to black because there's enough white in there already. I can change that to black. So I can make little adjustments to that as I'm going along as well. But it really comes down to, what do you really like to do? What is your preference for those things? Now, once I've got this in place and I want to change it all together, I would need to regenerate that. So if I can go and then click on the white area that highlights everything, delete it, click, delete, and then I can re-select all those words again and then generate a new one again. I can go and pick any sort of style I want. So let's just say I'm going to pick out, it's just picking out quite a few of them here. I like this one. So I can then go and make all those same text and little icon changes that I want to if there's something there I really don't like. So I'm pretty happy with that. I want to keep it. Let's just say I want to download it. It can download here as an export. So I'll just zero in on that. There's a little export download button there. So as I export, just click on there and it gives me the option to either copy it to the clipboard. Say, for instance, I'm doing this in Canva on a presentation. I just copy and paste it in as a PNG file or some kind of, at the moment it's selected PNG there, but you can also select the SVG for a website or a PDF if you want to use it as part of a, I don't know, maybe as a presentation. I can also change it to dark mode so it gives a dark background instead of a light background. I can turn the background off and have it as a completely transparent PNG with no background. And so that way it looks, it will inherit the background of whatever it's being put onto. I'd also make them bigger. So if I don't want it to be just a small one, I want it to be very high resolution. I can make it 3 times the size. So you can see down the bottom here that it's 2454 by 1482. That's pretty big. So if I wanted to download that, it's going to be a big file. I can just click on download and that downloads to my computer as a PNG file. So just downloading that now. I'm going to go over to Canva. I'm going to start a new, let's just say a presentation in Canva, and I'm going to upload that file into my new presentation. So upload, and I've got here some interesting photos there. I've been creating some fun content lately, and I can copy that across. And now that is a transparent background PNG. Of course, that doesn't make much sense to me unless I've got some kind of color in the background. I might use my brand colors, or I might use something like that, or perhaps a brown if I prefer a brown, or even a transparent, like what do you call it, a gradient as well that might be more appropriate for what I'm trying to put across. Now, once you got this in here, naturally, you cannot edit those elements in there themselves because that's only something that's now just a PNG file. So you can't edit those, but you can create the backgrounds and make them different again. This is how simple this thing is to use. So it doesn't really take a lot for you to be able to do this. I'm going to create a new napkin now. And what I'm going to do, you see this where it says draft with AI? That's going to help me come up with ideas to create my napkins with that uses their built-in AI, which at the moment is for free. You might use ChatGPT to do very similar things. What I want to do here is explore ideas around how agile development practices don't always work in every kind of business. So don't know what that means. It's okay. It's just basically a method of project management. So it's developing me a story. So a bit of an article, like very basic sort of free ChatGPT kind of level of an article. So is in this respect, it is an article creator as well. What I want to do though is take all these points and turn them into something of a, I guess of a, highlight it all. I want to create a visual for that whole story. So I don't know what to do with a visual of that. I'm going to let it work that out. So I'm going to go down the bottom here, see my little dots forming. And now it's given me a very, very simple graphic. Agile methodologies versus traditional approaches. That could be my main thing I want to do. I can also take out elements in there. So let's just say I choose this one. I want to remove those words altogether and I want to move all these guys up. So I can select all these different items. I can't quite select all. There we go. Got that. I can move those up to the center, or I can, take each element and make them bigger if I want to take up more space. So let's just say I want to take up these. I don't want to select everything, just these guys, and I can make each of those bigger and move them around. So what it is, as you see, it's made it bigger. I'll take it backwards, and I've made something that I'm pretty happy with. Now I can do the clipboard thing. I'm going to turn the background on. I'm going to make it in light mode. I'm going to make it in 2x resolution clipboard. I've now copied it. I'm going to go over to this now and paste it. And I've pasted now my new graphic straight into Canva. So I can then create that, use it as another image, maybe take out that background and make it white all over. And it doesn't put like a nasty little line at the edge of it. So you've got a nice clean thing that you can download in any kind of format that you wish. That's as complicated as this program gets. It's not a particularly hard one to use. We're going to undo this, do a new napkin. What I'm going to do is start off with something blank. So what I'm going to do is go over to, say, a LinkedIn post. So I'm going to find someone's LinkedIn post that's going to, tell me something that I want to visualize. So if I'm looking at Megan, no, she's promoting. This guy's good. I like Justin because he's produced some really thought-provoking things. So I'm going to take his. Hopefully you won't be too angry with me. I'm going to paste that in. What I want to do is now visualize his idea that he's got in there. So let's visualize it. Let's see what it comes up with. So that's just some random person's LinkedIn post. I've now got this great graphic. Businesses lose money, causing stagnant profits, a big hole in the ground. Address the inefficiencies or recover lost profits and enhance growth. It's just having a think as it starts to create that. Or I can look at another area if I like. If I don't really like that one at all, let's highlight and delete that and let's give it a go. Now, what I might do, I'm going to just highlight part of that because all this other stuff isn't really necessary for the visualization. In fact, it made the visualization a little bit overly simple. So what I'm going to do is just select the parts I want. It's now going to give me some ideas. It gave me the shovel in the ground again. We've got a funnel. We've got a profit drainage funnel that way. We've got another funnel going that way. That's how I got these different styles. I'm going to explore these styles, right? Because you may not look at that and go, oh, that's very unprofessional looking. That's okay. Change it over to that. And then I've got a much more professional looking one with full colors. That has just instantly visualized the whole process of what I was looking at. And of course, I can take the things out like I can do in any of them, make the elements bigger, smaller, download again as something else, as I turn the background off because I just want to clipboard that. That's also now clipboarded a version of that which has no background. So I'm just going to chuck in a little background here, paste it in, and there you go. I've got my non-background transparent PNG that I can sort of move around, take into something like Canva. Probably use a better background than that though. It's terrible. Let's make it green maybe, or blue, or maybe a lovely purple. Now, of course, on this one, purple's no good because I've got a really I've got dark text, so I might want to make that just a little bit brighter. There we go, a little bit nicer. And then you can do with that what I wish. So you've got this really, really good idea. You can take these ideas and then turn them into something visual. Don't like that one? That's all right. I can just do it again and highlight just the parts that I want. So I'm just going to highlight just those 4 points. I'm going to now, and this is the flexibility of it. You don't have to get rid of this little my little spell checker is wanting to take over all the time. Come on, there we go. There we go. And I'm just going to create just the part that I want, just those 4 main points. Now that's where it'll come up with potentially a very different approach. Already it's created a very different style of layout. Look at this. It's actually expanded upon what's already there. So that's the beauty of the AI in this. It's actually expanding to way more than what was just in there. So if I want to take, a black and white, I've got a black and white, there I go. So in some respects, it doesn't just take what you highlight, it can expand it. That's the AI writing feature that's in there. So I'm going to do one more. I'm going to draft it with AI. I'm going to come up with the best way to start a side hustle. It's always like typing always goes wrong when you're doing it in front of people. There we go. The best way to start a side hustle. I'm going to add in 2025. So it's going to go in, it's going to write myself an AI article. But look, it may not be the best article ever. That's not the point. I'm not trying to create a full article here, but what I may want to do is take parts of this article and then create some graphics just in the middle of those. So if I was going to got that whole article, got the conclusion, looks like it's all good. Great. Okay, I'm going to take a part of this. I'm going to take these points here, and I'm going to create myself a little. That stupid spell checker is annoying me. There we go. I'm going to create a little one. Now, see how what it's done? In the middle of this article, it's created me an area for my, well, I like this target. That looks awesome. Let's take a target. And probably not the red one, that one there. Okay, I'm going to take a chalkboard style one, put it in there. So that's now just for that area. I can continue down here and take in these guys, highlight them, create myself another one that goes into here. So I'm creating my full article with lots of small things inside it, lots of small graphics inside it. So I can pick out the graphic that I want. I want to continue exploring these things. I might take this one here. That'll do me. And I'll continue down my here. So I create another graphic here. So you can see how this can be a very powerful way of visualizing all sorts of things, from proposals through to your presentations. If you're doing some kind of, oops, I just lost that one. If you're creating a presentation, you're doing a workshop with people, this could be a really effective way of doing that. I keep doing it wrong. And then I can take as much as all of these areas. So these small little points here, build a business plan, all that. Might take the entire thing, all right? Explore emerging trends all the way down. It should give me a rundown in my graphics that's something to do with all of those main points. Let's see what it does for me. Because when you take a lot of information, you can create, great, this is fantastic. You know, you can take through a whole flow chart. It's created a funnel, several funnels. I like this little step here. That's kind of cool. So my computer's just having a bit of a struggle keeping up with everything. The light bulb looks really good as well. So I'm going to take that light bulb, insert it in, and now I've essentially got a full article complete with some scattered things in there as well I can use. And once I've got this article, I can then make edits to it, change anything I like, and then ultimately copy this entire thing and send it off into some other tool. So I can add comments along the way if it's collaboration. And that's another thing you can do, is collaborate with other people. So if you do end up having one of their enterprise accounts, that will allow you to explore and work on all these together with other people, so that you're not just doing it on your own. You're doing something in with your team. They may want to have some notes with it, particularly if you're going to be speaking at, say, a conference about this, then you've got the option to do that. Let's just say like this one and that one. And now I've got my other little one in there too. So therefore, you've created something that you can take and put into other tools like Microsoft Word or a website, and you've got a complete article there that you can play with. It's a pretty great tool. It's giving you stuff that you can do to build out the things that you want to build without having to go and spend umpteen hours trying to visualize those things. Things like infographics, right? Can be really hard. We're told all the time, infographics are great content, but how long would it take you to make that? You know, how long will it take you to make that kind of layout? It's going to take you ages. So when you've got an opportunity to use a tool like this, and like I said, it's absolutely free at the moment, then why wouldn't you do it? So I can share, by the way, you will say, how can I use this? I can share it. I can share it as anyone with a link. So others, I can download it as a PDF, or I can copy the link and send it to someone to view as well. They don't need an account to be able to view that. Anyone with a link can view, or you can change it. Only people with access can open the link. So it's got a little bit of security in there as well. If I download that PDF as a single continuous page, say, it'd be nice if it was Word, but it's also inserting some things in here. So I've got that. The best way to start a side hustle in 2025. I can then take that, open it up in other tools such as ChatGPT, extract the best parts out of it, or expand it. Even if I was using, say, a tool which was, I don't know, say Perplexity. So I say improve this article. So let me go and load up that article. Yes, I know I'm using it. I'm not going against my own company policies. I'm going to load that up and say, improve this article. So then you can use lots of other tools to sort of take that article and make it better if you wish to. And you can still use all those same little graphics, just the same way you would use in any sort of other place you were using. Say, for instance, if you're writing an article for a website, or writing an article for social media, or an article for LinkedIn even. So here we go. We've found this. It's improving the article. It's telling me what it should do to improve it. And so it's giving me all then those points where I might want to go a little bit further along than what the information is that was given in that article. You might have a preferred method you'll use for that. You can do that. It won't obviously bring across those um, images, but you can always go back in and get those images from either Canva or within Napkin itself. So remember, I can take any of these images, click on here and download it, or clipboard it, and then import that into Word, Adobe, a website, anything you like. So that's pretty much as far as you go with that. I've got a library here of all the previous ones I've done in the past, which I may have named or not named. So I get all the napkins I've done before. The PAIPS method is one I sort of generated an article about, which was based upon some information in an article I'd already made and I'd already written. And then I gave it this very, very simple little way of visualizing that. Hard to believe it's free, isn't it? Well, it won't be forever, but it will give you some power in that for free as well. So that gives you something to work with that you're able to use for now for free. And then the other thing is too, don't worry about if you start off with a free version, they start charging you. If you really want to access all these previous napkins in the past, you'll still have the ones that you were able to get in the past, and you'll have access to those. You won't be able to edit them, but you'll be able to download them, use them elsewhere. You'll just only be able to have I think it's 3 napkins at any one time, and the free version that you can generate. So far, no one knows whether they're going to put a little watermark in there, but they may or they may not. But this is a great tool. Get on it. It's free for now, and even in the future, it's going to be free to use for at least 3 of those napkins. So hopefully, that's been something you can sort of get some value out of. I certainly know that a couple of people on this very call right now, I've seen them use this in the wild, and it really did lift the messages across that they were trying to create and making it a lot easier to explain very complex things. So use it for that. All those times you wish you had the time to figure out how to do an infographic, it's right there, napkin.ai.